Hey guys, James here. I'm going to go ahead and enter LupDiesel's contest, and maybe I'll get something out of it. If not, it's not a big deal, but I will tell you my story as far as what happened. I'll try to make it as short as possible. October 29th, we were hit by Hurricane Sandy, or Superstorm Sandy, whatever you want to call it, and we ended up losing power for 12 days. And anybody that knows anything about losing power, your tank is not going to survive. So that was one of the biggest impacts that happened. I ended up with blackbeard algae. It took me probably 40 something water changes using the same water that's in here. Actually, it's still the original water minus water changes, and just constantly working on this tank to get that blackbeard algae out. I ended up losing I had 50 neons. I ended up with like 20 left, so figure 30 neons died. My golden nugget died. I had 20 brass tetras. I've got 3 left, so figure 27 of those died. My little clown plucko ended up dying. So yeah, a lot of devastation happened in this tank, which spelled high nitrates due to the fact 12 days no power, 36 degree water. Yeah, it was a living nightmare. And I must say that through all the hell that we went through of not being able to get gasoline, to run generators, I mean, we tried everything to power things up. I used my Jeep for over 36 hours with the inverter in my truck to try to keep these tanks at least warm, and maybe like a power head running just to kind of help circulate water, which it was doing all right. It was keeping the water up to maybe 50 something, which was better than 36. But that only lasted for, like I said, maybe 36 hours because of the fact that once we were out of fuel, that was it. All the gas stations around here were out of fuel. They didn't have power to run fuel, then lines and lines, up to 16-hour lines to get fuel, and they finally were able to power some of these stations up. So yeah, it was an impossible thing. I even bought a generator for like $700, a big 7,000 watt generator. That was a big tease for about 7 days because I couldn't use it. No gas, no generator. So, but I got it on a great deal, $700 from Home Depot, so that was cool. But yeah, so figure 3 months later, here it is, January, and this tank has completely recovered. Right now it's sitting at about 5 nitrate, maybe a little bit higher because of the plants. Everything else is right on the money, and the fish that are in this tank are the fish from there, minus the fact that I added this little bubble ram over here, and I had gotten me a couple more plecos. I don't know if you can see him. He's hanging there somewhere. The little royal pleco and then the golden nugget pleco. But the bulldog pleco actually survived that 36 degree water. I have no idea why, how, but he survived it. And then also the biggest loss in recovery belongs to my saltwater tank. I don't know if anybody's interested in the saltwater, but this tank, I ended up losing close to $800 worth of coral, fish, anemone, you name it, all gone. The only thing that survived was 2 shrimp, some crabs, and 2 coral mushrooms. But everything else died in this tank. I mean, they melted away literally. The 3 chromies and my 2 clownfish, they just flat out died because it was just too cold for them. Yeah, so that was just a matter. I had to replace all the sand. Luckily, there was a swap meet a couple of weeks after the fact. I was able to go to the swap meet. They dedicated it to us from a lot of people from Sandy, so we got really good prices on stuff for frags. It was like 150. I got like 13 new frags. And yeah, that was it, man. I just completely reworked this tank. This is actually the water from the storm in there, minus the fact that I've changed the water twice at about 30 to 40%. But that's it. I saved close to 40 gallons of water. Saved all my rock. I did not change my sump whatsoever. Everything that's in that sump is exactly the way that sump was when we lost power. So as you can see, everything is perfect in it. But yeah, I would have to say that's definitely the two things that seriously happened and recovered in a very short amount of time, thank God. So alright guys, with that, I'm loving my tank. Hoping you guys are all liking it with all the new plants and whatnot. And with that, good luck on the contest, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.